Hello, Collective. Wendy Joy, Love and Light. When I was talking with my spirit team today and asking, what the collective needed to know today, I was pretty much geared toward self belief. How do you feel about yourself currently, right now? What position do you hold within your own mannerism about how do you view yourself? Do you have the confidence and the courage? Do you know who you are? Are you looking to fix the things that may not sit right with you or how you view that your life should be, or maybe even the people or the places or the situations that you encounter? Do you talk badly about yourself when those things happen if they don't work out how you might have imagined? Because if you do, then you really do need to take value in knowing that you have the power to adjust your view. Only you can do that. Only you can remove you from a mindset that may be exhausting or toxic or um, harmful in some sort of way that is making you maybe feel a little bit of dismay or down on yourself, or God forbid, but say that maybe it's something you deserve, because none of those things apply. As a matter of fact, the only thing that you deserve is to live, to grow, to evolve, to find the pieces of you that no longer suit you and understand what value they once had as you reform the person that you are. Because we go through changes, different cycles, if you will, within cycles, no matter how you want to look at it, but we don't stay the same. As a child, we're one way, and as we are introduced to what the real world is, it leads us down another route, another road, and sometimes it gives conflicting information, like what you learned at home to what you're beginning to realize the real world entails, the multitude of disruptions or, um, I don't know, we'll say adversity that might come your way gives you an ability to always, pivot, move out of the way, readjust what is happening by making plans and moving in that direction, or, relieving whatever locked, tense, trapped energy that you may have within you that could be on one level dragging you down, even though on another level you may not realize the weight that you're carrying, right? Because that happens all the time. I mean, and it's a matter of perception, yes. What do you view is consequential and what do you view is not, right? But what you're maybe forgetting is that what you may think isn't consequential or doesn't have much of an influence could be the very thing that your subconscious, on whatever level, wants you to experience, because it's a valuable tool that shouldn't be suppressed or looked past or walked over, but that it's a big part of who maybe you once were, or maybe held, some type of limitation to where you think you could go today. Because those are illusions that, whether were formed, you know, intentionally by you, by another, by situation, by society, by circumstance, it doesn't mean that that's a situation that you have to spend the rest of your life in. I mean, I know that for a fact because everything I don't like, I change. And I do that with my mindset, with my movement, with my direction. And I listen to my intuition. And every time I'm led in the right direction, but not every time do I listen and fully go in. At least that was in my past. So I can understand where, you know, a perceived, outdated, suppressed, probably not even aware of, you know, piece of value is stuffed into um, a drawer that you put other things in, thinking that one day you would come back to, but maybe forgot you put it there. So you could look at the spin that way, and instead of saying, well, I'm hiding it, you could just say, well, you know, I let it sit in a place until I was in a better mind space in order to look at it again. And with all the life that you've lived and all the experiences that you've gained, you know, maybe it is time to take a look again. And when you do, what self belief and self talk are you going to hold? Are you going to say, well, now I can see, you know, what it was that may have put a limit on me, and I understand and set it free and, you know, retain the value as a tool so when it comes my way in the future, I'll be more prepared, you know, to be able to handle it in a more positive, well balanced way, right? Because there's always a point that we walk in our life, right? Where we're learning and gaining value and lessons, and, you know, we see how other energy reacts or responds to different situations, regardless if you're in them or not. Like if you're an observer, right? Like it's happening, you know, in someone else's energy. You're not directly involved, but you're close enough to be able to see. Well, your energy really is mixing in with that equation. And if you're observing and you're looking to see how things can play out, you can help both of the situations, yours as an observer and theirs as someone who's going through whatever entanglement it could be, right? And you can send positive energy. You can send positive energy to them, and you can send positive energy and reflect upon how it could benefit you internally as well. And there's nothing wrong with feeding you while, you know, you're looking to see how others are either responding or reacting, right? And all that means is that it's giving your energy field, you know, more clarity of what you could be either avoiding, walking into, or just, you know, watching, taking notes, gaining value. And not that it's your lesson, but it's their lesson. So when you're looking at someone else, right, and you're reviewing you and you're talking to yourself about how you fit into their situation, the only place that you belong in their situation is what is inside of you that you may not be aware of, that could be irritating, bothering, alerting, or, you know, providing you insight to the hurt that is within you. Because we do that. We'll pick things out in other energies without even realizing it, because it's something that's familiar to us. And it could very well be familiar to us because we're experiencing it, have experienced it, you know, or have been witness to it, in the past. And sometimes people call that deja vu. Some people call that memories resurfacing because of similar situations. But what I know is that whatever you want to call it, because it seems that there's a lot of things, a lot of names for a lot of things these days. But I go with my gut and how it feels and how the energy resonates with me and my knowing and my interaction. Like, do I feel good about it? Do I feel bad about it? Is it alerting me of something? Do I have other sensations going on that are adding or taking away from or alerting me to? Because we're not like one sided. We have dimension, which means that we've got a lot of different access points within our temple, our field, that has the ability to be able to recognize energy in whatever form, especially if we've lived through it in this life. And then sometimes it gives us more insight. But if our spirit recognizes a situation or other type of energy, right? Mannerism, perception, movement, energy is it's in every form, actually. So, however you may be experiencing it, it could be that you, as a light essence, your higher consciousness, maybe even your inner child, who is also so very close to the veil, right? Because innocence puts you right there, right? That you may have experienced in a past life that could be resurfacing and coming into this existence, whether it's through a mindset, a memory, a talent, a gift, right? So when you speak about yourself, when you remember, or when you look at other situations and you seem to be placing yourself there, remember that there's a hurt inside of you that your light essence is resonating with, that you need to work on in order to relieve you from continuing the cycle of going toward a hurt, a pain point, a dilemma, or a hardship. And we all have this power, every single one of us. And I know this because I've done it, witnessed it, helped people, and guided others my entire life from what could be obvious to what could be not seen, where faith needs to come into play. And you need to use all of your senses in order to gain the go ahead or the turnaround, or go in a different direction, or look at it from a higher view, or try to understand where this is coming from and what it does, what it has to do with you. There's a lot of things that go on with every situation, and not all of them have everything to do with us, but a good portion of them do. So when you're reflecting and you're looking at you, make sure that you include your self-worth, because regardless of what you may perceive or have perceived as a limited space, place, perception, movement, whatever, that was yesterday. And by taking the bull by the horns, metaphorically, right? And guiding your steps in another direction, one that resonates more with your higher consciousness and your inner compass, your inner direction. Because when you sit in silence, when you reflect upon you, and things of doubt may come up, you need to understand that we're all supposed to face some type of doubt. That's the only way that we're going to understand what doubt is, so that we could hold on to the surety that lives within us. You see, yin yang, polarization, angel, devil, good, bad, right? We're in the middle. So when you look at all of those things, and you also, understand that energy doesn't necessarily have to be influencing you from another person, or someone on earth, we'll say, right? Or something on earth. It could be energy that's being directed, that your energy field is sensitive to, that could be coming from the cosmos too, right? When there's interaction going on within our solar system, it does affect us. So look to see what the transits are in the sky, like way up high, where you need a telescope to see. Or, when you're meditating and you're speaking with your team, find out if there's a placement that is maybe more geared toward a positive path forward in your endeavors, that may be of stronger energy for you personally, right? Like they talk about your sun sign, your moon sign, your ascending sign, your north star, your south node, your north node, all of those things. But, keep in mind that the more information that you can have, the better position that you'll be in, right? And it'll give you more of a firmer foundation to reflect and look upon yourself and any situations that you've already lived through, or what you may be currently going through, in a positive manner. And remember that you have worth, and that everything that you've been through hasn't been there to hurt you. It's been there to help you grow and evolve and see what you weren't able to before. So self-belief and self-talk is very important. It's extremely important to stay positive, because that's the only way for us to go forward, to elevate, to gain a higher vibration, to ascend into all of the unseen. That awareness allows you the ability to retrieve, right? Giving you different levels of ascension, so that when you do reflect, as you learn, grow, and evolve, and you look back on the different phases of you, that you'll see that your self-belief may have started out strong as a child, got beat up along the way in between, like sidestepped and stuff, but then you gained the clarity and the wisdom, and you realized your worth, and that you pulled all the best pieces of you and let go of what no longer serves you, because you're growing and evolving, becoming a better version of you. And so should your self-talk, because that's how we manifest great things to settle into our reality, by being in the present moment and remembering that we have power and tools, and that we are worthy to receive, and that we not only are good enough, that we are better because of everything that we've grown into. I can't wait to hear your stories. I am quite positive that they are filled with adventures of both, failure, triumph, and, understanding. They could even have self-doubt in them. I had self-doubt at one time. And it wasn't about me or my capabilities. It was about me and my abilities to reach other people. Because I've always had this gift and I've always tried to share it. But what I've learned and gained along the way that made me a better person, the person that I am today, is that I now realize that it's not a self-doubt thing of me, right? That I didn't do anything wrong or fell short of not being able to reach every individual, because every individual is on their own path and they're going to gain their enlightenment and their understanding and their awareness when it's ready for them. It's not me to force upon light. And it took me a little bit of time, because when you're a kid, you think that you have all the answers, you could do it all, and everything is going to work out right if you just follow 1 2 3, right? And although it may be right, not everybody sees the vision that you hold, because they're living in their own timeline, which may be nowhere near yours. So keep that in mind. I know I had to learn that the hard way. And after taking in so much self-criticism, I learned to let it go and to understand that it's not my place to force anything on anyone. And now, when people come to me, they either like what they see or they run for the hills. And that's just because, they're either on the right timeline or they're not. Easy as that. And it has nothing to do with me. I'm always going to be a bright, shining light. And they'll know that when their time is right, they'll come find me, because of that initial interaction. So, you know what? Everything has a positive, and it always works out right. So when you look back on you, pat yourself on the shoulder, because it took an awful lot of courage and an awful lot of strength for you to be the person that you are today. And I'm so proud of you. And I know that you can go as far as you want. And I truly hope that you want to go positively as far as your possibilities will provide to you during this lifetime. And that you change your future timelines right now in this lifespan to the highest potential that your contract allows for this spin around. I love you. I love me. And you know what? I am so very proud of each and every one of us, because I know how much strength it takes, and how much courage, and how much determination and motivation and constant commitment that you need to hold in order to stay balanced. And it's a mindset. It gets easier over time. That I do know for a fact as well. I've seen that as an observer in other people's lives. My mindset is ingrained in me. I've been this way my entire life, and I don't believe that I'm going to be any other way except better and better, stronger and stronger. After all, I did call in all of my past life abilities and talents, and I'm waiting for them. And I set up my timeline that they'll be waiting for me when I get there. And I'm definitely migrating that way. My lovely collective, whichever timeline you're on, I can't wait to hear. Join me, reach out, leave a comment, email me. My newsletter is going to be coming out soon. Monthly insights, love and light, encouragement for you to read every time you need. My lovely collective, whatever you do, I am sending you strength, wisdom, clarity, and a firm, strong structure that you build off of and allow your self-belief to remember your self-worth and speak good about yourself, because you are beautiful, handsome, debonair, dapper. You are just a marvelous creation. We were all created to be unique with special traits, gifts. What are yours? Can't wait to hear. I don't know if you heard that, but bell went off, confirmation. We all have gifts. Reach out, my lovely collective. And don't forget, smile. It helps with your self-belief. Love and light.